Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some of the most bizarre and ridiculous ways people have met their end. You won't believe some of these stories. We're talking about folks who tempted fate and lost in the most unexpected ways. Get ready to have your mind blown because these stories are seriously wild. This first story is about a guy named Bobby Leach. Now, Bobby wasn't just any ordinary guy, he was a daredevil, a man who lived for the thrill and the applause. Born in Cornwall, England, in 1858, Bobby had a penchant for danger from a young age. He was always looking for the next big challenge, the next adrenaline rush. Now, Bobby was a daredevil, known for doing some crazy stuff, like seriously crazy. He performed stunts that would make most people shudder just thinking about them. From tightrope walking to parachuting, Bobby did it all, but his most famous stunt, well, that was something truly extraordinary. You know what he did? He went over Niagara Falls in a barrel. Yes, you heard that right. Niagara Falls, one of the most powerful waterfalls in the world, with water crashing down at an incredible speed. And Bobby decided to take it on in a wooden barrel. A barrel! Can you imagine? The sheer audacity and courage it took to even think about doing something like that. The barrel was specially designed, of course, reinforced to withstand the immense pressure of the falls, but still, the risk was enormous. The crashing water, the rocks, and he survived it. On July 25, 1911, Bobby Leach became the second person in history to go over Niagara Falls and live to tell the tale. The first was Annie Edson Taylor, but Bobby's stunt was considered even more dangerous because he chose a different, more treacherous part of the falls. Bobby became a total legend after that stunt. He was celebrated as a hero, a man who had defied death and come out victorious. His name was on everyone's lips, and he basked in the glory of his incredible achievement. People couldn't believe he made it out alive. Crowds gathered to hear him speak, to see the man who had conquered Niagara Falls. He became a sensation, a symbol of bravery and daring. He toured around, telling his story, basking in the glory. He traveled across the United States and Europe, sharing his incredible tale of survival. He even brought the barrel with him, showing it off as a testament to his bravery. But then, fate decided to play a cruel trick on Bobby. Despite surviving one of the most dangerous stunts imaginable, his life took an unexpected turn. One day, he was walking down the street, minding his own business, when he slipped. It was a seemingly ordinary day, nothing out of the ordinary. But sometimes it's the ordinary things that catch us off guard. Slipped on what, you ask? An orange peel. Yes, an orange peel. It sounds almost comical, doesn't it? The man who survived Niagara Falls brought down by a piece of fruit. I'm serious. This guy survived Niagara Falls only to be taken out by a piece of fruit. The fall was no laughing matter, though. It was severe, and Bobby's leg was badly broken. The fall broke his leg so badly that it got infected. In those days, medical treatment wasn't what it is today. Infections were often deadly, and unfortunately for Bobby, this was the case. And guess what? The infection turned fatal. Despite the best efforts of the doctors, they couldn't save him. The man who had defied death at Niagara Falls was now facing his final battle. Bobby Leach, the Niagara Falls daredevil, died from an infected leg caused by an orange peel. Talk about irony. It's a stark reminder of how unpredictable life can be. It just goes to show, you never know what life's gonna throw at you. One moment you're on top of the world, and the next, you're brought down by something as simple as an orange peel. Bobby Leach's story is a testament to the highs and lows of life, and the unexpected twists that can change everything in an instant. This next story is about a guy named Hans Steininger. Now Hans was famous. You know why? His beard. This guy had a beard like you wouldn't believe. It was the longest beard in the world. We're talking over 4 feet long. Hans loved his beard. It was his pride and joy. He even had a special case made for it so he wouldn't trip over it. But one fateful day, disaster struck. There was a fire in Hans's town. People were running everywhere, panicked and scared. Hans, being the upstanding citizen he was, joined the rush to escape the flames. But in the chaos, the unthinkable happened. Hans tripped. He tripped over his own beard. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. The fall was so awkward, so unexpected, that Hans broke his neck. That's right, his own record-breaking beard was the cause of his demise. It's a cautionary tale, folks. Even something as seemingly harmless as a beard can be deadly if you're not careful. Chapter 3. Clement Vallandigham, Don't Bring a Demonstration to a Courtroom. Okay, this next story is about a lawyer named Clement Vallandigham. He was a prominent figure in the 19th century, known for his eloquence and sharp legal mind. Vallandigham was not just any lawyer, he was a man of principles and a staunch defender of civil liberties. His career was marked by his passionate speeches and his unwavering commitment to justice. Now Clement was a smart guy, a real smooth talker. He had a way with words that could sway even the most stubborn jurors. His reputation in the courtroom was that of a formidable opponent, someone who could turn the tide of a case with his persuasive arguments. He was known for his meticulous preparation and his ability to think on his feet. He was defending a client in a murder trial, and he had a theory. This wasn't just any murder trial, it was a high-stakes case that had garnered a lot of public attention. The pressure was on, and Clement knew that he had to come up with a compelling defense to save his client from a grim fate. Clement believed that the victim in the case had actually shot himself accidentally. He was convinced that the evidence pointed to a tragic mishap rather than a deliberate act of violence. To him, it was a matter of piecing together the clues and presenting a coherent narrative that would exonerate his client. To prove his point, he decided to do a little demonstration in the courtroom. This was a bold move, but Clement was known for his daring tactics. He believed that a visual demonstration would make his argument more compelling and leave a lasting impression on the jury. He got his hands on the same type of gun that was used in the case and started waving it around, trying to show how the victim could have accidentally pulled the trigger. He meticulously explained the mechanics of the firearm, demonstrating how a simple mistake could lead to a fatal outcome. But here's the thing about guns, folks. They're dangerous. No matter how careful you think you are, there's always a risk involved when handling firearms. Clement, in his zeal to prove his theory, seemed to momentarily forget this crucial fact. And Clement, in his enthusiasm to prove his point, forgot that. He accidentally shot himself. Can you believe it? The courtroom was thrown into chaos as the shocking realization set in. The very demonstration that was meant to save his client had turned into a tragic accident. He was so focused on proving his client's innocence that he ended up proving the danger of his own demonstration. The irony of the situation was not lost on anyone present. It was a moment of tragic irony that underscored the unpredictability of life and the perils of overconfidence. Sadly, Clement's accidental shooting proved fatal. His death was a devastating blow to the legal community and to those who admired his dedication to justice. It was a somber reminder of the fragility of life and the unforeseen consequences of our actions. The irony is just too much. Here was a man who had spent his life fighting for the rights of others, only to fall victim to a tragic accident of his own making. It was a poignant end to a remarkable career, leaving behind a legacy of both brilliance and caution. It's a stark reminder that even the smartest people can make the dumbest mistakes. No matter how intelligent or experienced we are all susceptible to errors in judgment. Clement Vallandigham's story serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of humility and the need to always respect the inherent dangers in our actions. Chapter 4. Garry Hoy, Don't Test Your Limits, especially on the 24th floor. This story is about a lawyer named Garry Hoy. Garry was a well-respected corporate and securities lawyer in Toronto, Canada. He worked for the prestigious law firm of Holden Day Wilson, one of the largest in the city at the time. Garry was known for being a bit of a showman. He had a flair for the dramatic and loved to entertain his colleagues and clients with his antics. His confidence and charisma made him a popular figure in the office. He loved to push the limits, to prove a point. Whether it was in the courtroom or the office, Garry always wanted to demonstrate his knowledge and skills in the most memorable way possible. And one day he took it too far. It was a day like any other, but Garry had decided to show off a particular stunt he was known for. Garry was in his office, on the 24th floor of a skyscraper, showing off to some law students. These students were visiting the firm to get a taste of what life as a lawyer was like, and Garry wanted to leave a lasting impression. He was bragging about how strong the windows in the building were. He had done this many times before, always with the same result: the window held firm, and everyone was impressed. To prove his point, he decided to do something incredibly dangerous. He prepared himself, taking a few steps back to get a running start. He ran at full speed and threw himself at the window. The students watched in awe and anticipation, expecting the usual outcome. He'd done it before, and the window had held strong. It was a testament to the building's construction and Garry's confidence in it. But this time fate had other plans. The window didn't shatter. Instead, it popped out of its frame, a catastrophic failure that no one could have predicted. Instead, it popped out of its frame, sending Garry plummeting 24 stories to the ground below. The fall was fatal, and Garry's life ended in an instant. Can you imagine the shock of the students who witnessed it? One moment, they were watching a confident lawyer demonstrate the strength of the building, and the next, they were witnessing a tragic accident. 1 minute, Garry's bragging about the window's strength, the next minute, he's gone. The office was left in a state of disbelief and mourning. It's a tragic story about the dangers of overconfidence and the importance of knowing when to stop pushing your luck. Garry Hoy's story serves as a stark reminder that even the most confident and skilled individuals can make fatal mistakes when they underestimate the risks involved. His legacy is a cautionary tale for all of us to remember the importance of humility and the need to respect the limits of our environment and our own abilities. Chapter 5. Draco of Athens, Killed by Kindness. This last story takes us back in time, all the way to ancient Athens. It's about a lawmaker named Draco. Now Draco was a big deal back then. He was known for his incredibly harsh laws. In fact, his laws were so strict that they were said to be written in blood, not ink. But even though his laws were tough, Draco was apparently a popular guy. One day he was attending a festival in his honor. The people were so happy with Draco's work that they decided to shower him with gifts. I'm talking cloaks, hats, tunics, all sorts of stuff. They piled these gifts onto Draco, wanting to show their appreciation. But they got a little carried away. The pile of gifts got so high, so heavy that Draco couldn't breathe. He was literally smothered to death by the kindness of his own people. Talk about irony. It just goes to show, too much of a good thing can be deadly. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating stories. Let us know in the comments which story you found the most unbelievable. See you next time.